Yo, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? Welcome to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Marriage Chronicles. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap, and my co-host, K-Sap Square.
What's going on, y'all?
And like I told y'all, Simply Ball Dropping, we taking our show on the road. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. When you come in the stream, make sure you share the podcast, share it out, tell a friend to tell a friend. I see everybody in the comments, hashtag salute. I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with us. I appreciate it, man. Couldn't do it without you guys, man. Appreciate all the support, all the love that people have been showing us around the world. And like I said, when you come in the stream, make sure you share the stream out, man. This podcast, this Marriage Chronicles, this is long overdue. This is one that is highly anticipated. The guests that we have today, they're going to share their love story. But like I said, before we get started, DJ, kick the beat.
Yeah. I'm simply ball dropping. Marriage Chronicles. Yeah. Do you take thee to be your lawfully, to have it to hold for rich and poor, and sickness to help to death do us part? My casket short when you have a change of heart on guard. I changed these vows, we went through hours. I lied and cheated, I was left with scars. My love is astronomical, don't need the drama, mama. I'm simply ball dropping, it's the Marriage Chronicles. She loved me not. My heart cold, but used to be hot. She took me for all I got. Tick-tock, out of time, this my last shot. She loved me not. My heart cold, but used to be hot. She took me for all I got. Tick-tock, out of time, what we talking about? Yeah, Marriage Chronicles. Yeah, Marriage Chronicles. Yeah, Marriage Chronicles. Sit back, pour a glass, let it overflow. Yeah, K-Sap, what up? It's James 4th, y'all. Yeah, Bacardi dark on the track. It's like that. Blueprint Inc. Yeah.
Now your host of the Simply Ball Dropping Marriage Chronicles, the man behind the mic, K-Sap, and his co-host, Kanisha Sappington.
Yo, just like that, we right back in, man. I want to appreciate my man James the Fourth for the Hot Marriage Chronicles intro. And as you can see, our guests have arrived. It's a pleasure and my honor to bring these two to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast, Marriage Chronicles, Mr. and Mrs Vaughn Harper.
Hello, everyone.
Glad to be here, K-Sap and K-Sap Squared.
Absolutely, 100%.
All right. Well, like I said, it's been a long time coming. And before we get started, I know K-Sap Square always likes to break the ice, and I'm going to turn it over to K-Sap Square.
All right. So, icebreaker. So, we'll go Megan. Ladies first.
Okay.
Name 3 things, Megan, that most people would not know about you.
3 things most people. I have never drank coffee or tasted coffee in my life. I know how to crochet, and what else? One of my favorite movies is Earth versus the Flying Saucers. There you go.
Okay.
That's
I never heard
respectable.
of it.
That's respectable. I didn't know that myself.
I knew the crochet part, but not the
Or
other 2. What about you, Mr. B?
3 things that people don't know about me. Shoot. Let's see. Say maybe most people don't know. I'll put it that way.
Right.
That I used to be able to play the piano very well, classical piano. What else? I'm an accomplished singer inside the car and in the shower. I sound just like your favorite R&B artist. No, you don't know that. Okay, hold up.
Who's that, Usher?
Let me give you, no, not Usher. I'm old school.
All right, Kiki.
Let's see what else people don't maybe not know. Let's see that under this handsome, strong facade, I'm actually sensitive, and I get more sensitive as I get older about things that make people happy. And let's see, that you probably wouldn't know if you look at my social media and you hear me talk to me, that kids and family are my number one in my life. I don't post a lot about them, but best believe me, that's what drives this right here and everything I do.
That's cool, man. Great answers. Great answers.
Love it.
Yeah. So, without further ado, we're going to get off into what the people came and showed up for. We're going to get off into the love story. I know a lot of people around here that's tuned in the Frederick area. They want to know, how this thing came about and where it stands now. So, like I said, we'll turn it over again to KSAP Square, and she'll open it up.
All right. So just a couple more questions before you guys start kind of letting us know how you met and where it all started. Let us know who said I love you first.
He did. Vaughn did.
Yep, I did.
He did.
Okay. How did you remember?
Ooh. Shoot. When was that first time? Did I write it down or did I say?
You wrote it in a letter, and then you told me later.
Yeah, wrote it in a letter, then I told her later. So easier to write and then just come in and express yourself later on.
So how did you know that you was in love?
I knew that from because you just had all the qualities I was interested in. I was young back then, but I knew she had the physical attributes, her personality, the way she felt about me. I just kind of knew already that in the long run, this would be a person I'd like to be with, I was comfortable with, I could trust, and that I could have a partnership with. So it was easy for me. It was easy to determine that early on.
So Megan, let me ask you a question. So when he said he loved you, how did you respond to that?
I was thinking like already, because it was very shortly into our relationship. But I was like, okay, he loves me. I really like him. He loves me. So that's what I thought about it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So before I go into any of the other questions that I have, Megan, tell us your version of how it all started.
Okay. No, you might want to ask Vaughn first.
So I'll have
Okay.
to start
Okay.
that one off, and then she can pick up here. So it was many moons ago. I had heard about her through a mutual friend. They used to cut my hair. Shout out to Larry G. At the time, she had a boyfriend who also used to get his hair cut by Larry, and he would talk about it. I didn't know who she was or anything at that time. And then I think, still trying to remember back to whether or not I saw her in person or I saw a photo of her. But either way that went, once I saw that, I'm like, oh, okay, she's a good-looking young lady. Heard good things about her, and I wanted to meet her. I'd found out that her and the boyfriend that she had broken up. And in Frederick at that time, during the summer, they had dances at what was then the Holiday Inn. And I'd heard she was going to be at one of those dances. And I got with my friend Larry and decided, hey, I wanted to go out to the Holiday Inn to meet her. That was my opportunity to meet her at the Holiday Inn. I went out there with the sole purpose, again, of meeting her out there, and saw her come in with her friends. I was there. It was a fast song, dance song. They were out there dancing. I was out there. And then my friend Larry introduced me and said, hey, this is my friend, Homie the Clown. I kind of laughed, kind of maybe said hey or whatever like that. I think she said hey back. And that was our first introduction. I'll let her tell you what she thought of how I met her at that time.
So that dance, my friends and I went to the dance, and the Chicago Bulls had won the championship, and we were wearing Chicago Bulls hats and shirts. I think I had on Kareem's Chicago Bulls hat and shirt. And so we were dressed like that, and we're at the dance. Summertime by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince was playing. And we're out on the floor dancing. And I see Larry, and there's a guy with Larry. And they approach us. Like Vaughn said, he introduces him as this. He said, "This is my boy, Homie the Clown." And we're dancing, and I'm with my friends. Shout out to Tika Sims, because I know she's watching. I'm with her, and she's like, "Wait a minute, that's Vaughn." And she knew Vaughn because she went to school with him, and she would always say that Vaughn had pretty skin. So I was like, okay, that's Vaughn with the pretty skin. And like he said hi. I said hi back, and we just danced for a few more songs. Just a group of us danced, and I just went on with my night.
Now, so that was the first time I had met her, and as a true one of the founders of Simply Ball Dropping, that's my original ball droppings right here. So I wanted to meet her, was anxious to meet her. A friend introduced me, and I sat there, and all I could muster up was, "Hey, hi," or whatever like that. Again, it was a fast dance. We were dancing around each other. But
Caught you off guard, huh? You ain't know how to.
No, I knew, but I had no opening. So I'm like, okay, I wanted to meet her. I don't want to blow it. I want to get the words right. What happened? So I'm waiting at the dance. The dance goes on. I'm playing in the background or whatever, waiting for the opportunity, because I'm thinking, what can I go up and say? I want to come up with something witty. I want to be smooth. I want to wait and catch her at the right time, not when she's with her friends or she's out in the middle of dancing, because I wasn't bold enough to go out in the middle of the dance floor and say, "Hey." So I waited. It got towards the end of the dance, and if the slow song was getting ready to play, so okay, here's my time. She's away from her friends. She's kind of alone. So I go to step to her, and what do I see? She walks up to a guy, doesn't look anything like me, fits Kareem's profile a little bit more than mine, and she's dancing with him. Now, what I see, and we always joke about this, is he was taller. She wraps her arms around him like this. And to me, from my vantage point, again, I'm interested in her, so I'm looking. From my vantage point, it looks like she's looking up lovingly, and they're dancing, slow dance, kind of laughing and stuff like that. So I'm over there like, oh, dag, I blew it. Okay. And I'm also thinking, well, shoot, if that's the type of guy she's into, I
you ain't got no chance.
That's not me. So, I kind of sulked a little bit to myself, dag, going to the left, and like, okay, well, I blew my opportunity right there. That's it.
Well, the word on the street, your game was whack anyway. So, I mean, if you got somebody that's 6'7", looking like Wembyamba taking your girl, then that says a lot about you.
It's rookie year. I progressed since then.
So how did you get the nerve to, calm down and make that right approach?
So I didn't. What I did was, back in that day, I went to school with some of her friends. So once I found out later on that, that wasn't her boyfriend, I was like, oh, okay, she's still single. School was about to start. So I thinking to myself, okay, I need to make it known I'm interested, because I'm thinking when she goes back to school, I'm not the only guy that's going to see her and think she's attractive, and she's going to school with these people. They're going to talk to her, and then I'll lose my chance again.
Yeah.
So I let our mutual friends know, hey, let Megan know I'm interested. Tell her I said hi. Tell her I think she's cute. Whatever. I use that room. And they filtered that to her. I got feedback through them. Okay, yeah, she's open. You can give her a call, whatever like that. And from that point, it became an opportunity to talk to her on the phone, put myself in front of her, which was great because my friend Larry was also mutual friends with you, which built a connection. So that's a 2-in-1. Come over. I met Kareem years ago, but didn't know him then. Met him again, and that's how I was actually able to meet her and actually spend time with her one-on-one. And I'll fast forward. So during those times, I would come over, see Kareem, hang out, talk to her a little bit, not too much because I was still nervous. It was her house, her whole family was there. So I
never nervous Purvis.
Do too much, so I'd give a look or something. And ultimately it culminated in I went to work, came back over. So I'd spent the night over at your house before. Came back later that day. We're out on the porch, and I don't know, it took me 2 hours maybe to muster up the nerve to ask her ultimately to go out. Would she be my girlfriend?
But that was through the through my phone book, right? Was that?
I did put notes in her phone book. I kind of fast forward through some of the stuff. I would talk to her, see her. Didn't really have a lot of interaction just because the environment. I wasn't comfortable. Family around. Hey, how you doing? Even though I should have. So I'll write notes in your little in the little green phone book.
Yeah.
Write little messages on there because I knew she would read that. But I'll give it to her to see what she her perspective on that during that time.
I found out that Vaughn was interested through some friends. My friend called me. She told me that he was interested, and then like right after I got off the phone with her, Larry called and said, "Hey, Vaughn is interested in you." I was like, "Well, just give him my number." And like Vaughn said, we had little interactions and things like that right before school started. So the night he's talking about with the address book, I had gone to a birthday party that day. And when I got back to my house, it was later that evening because it was nighttime. When I got back to the house, Vaughn was there. And I found out that Vaughn was going to be spending the night at my house with Kareem. So I'm like, I'm all nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, Vaughn's going to be spending the night in my house. I don't know what to do. So I go in the house and this little green address book is on my pillow. And in the green address book in pink marker, like he wrote like, "Hey, are you my woman? I want you to be my woman. You need to go with the good looking brother like Vaughn." Just little stuff, little things like that.
Covered up all my numbers.
And yeah, it was Kareem's address book. So I think I write something back and try to get it to him. But then I got more nervous. I'm like, okay, he's declared his intentions. He's going to be spending the night at my house. So Vaughn spends the night at my house. We are sitting in the living room at my house, and Vaughn is sitting on the couch. I'm sitting on the chair. Kareem is sitting on the other couch. The whole night, we say nothing to each other. I was just nervous that he was there. Vaughn was nervous to be there, and we were nervous. We didn't say anything. Vaughn and Kareem talked, but me and Vaughn didn't say anything to each other. So I got up and went to bed, and that was the end of that night.
Shout out to the address book. Shout out to Tommy, rest in peace. It was the address book that did it. Yes, and Kareem did have an address book. There's a lot of brothers in there, though, wasn't Kareem?
Man, stop that, man.
Okay.
My game was way stronger than yours, pimp.
So the next day, it was the first day of the NFL season because in my house we watched football on Sunday.
Robitussin.
Vaughn spent the night and he left and he had to go to work. And he said he was coming back. When he came back he did come back from work. He knocked on the door and we were in there watching TV. And him and I sat there for a second and then we went out on the porch. And we sat out on the porch. I knew he was going to ask me to be his girlfriend, but I sat out there. We sat out there for like 45 minutes to an hour because it took him so long to ask me to be his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. But he did, and here we are. All these years later, I always say I had no clue when I said yes to being his girlfriend that night that I was making a lifetime commitment, but that is what has happened. Yeah.
Okay. So Vaughn came over to spend a night with Kareem to make his move on you. So that's basically how I kind of take the story thus far that I'm hearing right now. You kind of
he used me and Larry as his launching pad
into Megan in a way.
So yes, we'll say yes. I wouldn't say use, but it was handy that he was a friend. We like basketball mutual interest because I didn't have the nerve. I had no real reason. I didn't live in a neighborhood to be there. Okay. So to me to walk up to someone to go over there and knock on the door, I wasn't there yet. I wasn't. I needed an in. That's what our friends knew, mutual friend. Hey, and that gives me opportunity to put myself in front of her. And as you heard, even when I was there, we had limited interaction. I was still nervous.
That's right. He needed a wingman.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, but I go back to what Megan said. I mean, he didn't believe going through people's doors. He was like, brother man from the 5th floor. His entry was windows. Can we get off into that?
No, I'm not going to get off on that. That'd be another podcast that we'll do. Late night podcast with some other details. Shout out to my daughter. Son might be watching this. Can't give out too many secrets yet.
Okay.
Stay tuned for After Hours.
So Megan became your girlfriend. And this was what year? Yeah. I didn't do the thing.
It was 1991.
1991, she became your girlfriend. So let's fast forward. Y'all were girlfriend and boyfriend exclusively. You never veered outside of each other from that point.
Never.
You never dated anybody else. Vaughn never dated anybody else after y'all
Never.
started being girlfriend
Never.
and boyfriend.
It's been him and I since September 8th.
One hitter quitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been him and I.
Okay. So what do you say, Megan, to the people who are saying, how did you do that? How did you just stay with one person for that many years and not ever even kiss anybody else?
I knew very early on in our relationship that this is the person I wanted to be with. That's what it was. And I truly believe that Vaughn and I are soulmates and we were supposed to be together. And I got that feeling very early in our relationship. And I just went with my gut and what I felt. And I just have to tell people, you just have to go with how you feel, because I just went with how I felt. And he always made me laugh. And Vaughn and I have always had a lot of fun with each other. So it was just, I knew early on that this was my person in life. So, yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here listening to that, man. I'm looking at Vaughn. How does that make you feel when you hear something like that?
That confirmed what I felt in the beginning. Like I said, when I saw her, obviously she met the physical qualities I was looking for. Very attractive. Had all the features I was interested in back in the time, and even now. But her personality, she came from a great family. Knew a little bit about the family, met them. Very loving family, very protective family. And what I'd heard about her reputation, a little bit that I heard, she was a wholesome girl, good, clean girl, like you said on Coming to America. But very loyal and very trustworthy and very focused on the person she's with. And as we started to talk and as we were dating, going longer and longer, that was all validated as we went through. Seemed like back then she was all about me. She was excited when I'd come around. She'd still get butterflies. She was looking forward to spending time with me, and all that just verified what I thought from the beginning, and it confirmed everything I wanted to be.
Man, I can't even recall like Megan's relationships, but you. I mean, she had little peons, you know what I'm saying? But I don't call them relationships, you know what I'm saying? That's all I've known is Megan and Vaughn, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I can lay it out on the map in detail when it happened. Like Vaughn used to come over, like Megan said, he was spending the night because of me. But like I said, that was his launching pad, you know what I'm saying? Like, back in the days when he was growing up, it really wasn't too many options, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we did things around here. We'd go to the dance out there at the hotel and things like that. But other than that, it's like, from what I've known, that's my sister. It's like, it's been her and Vaughn. It's been her and Vaughn ever since, I graduated from high school, went off to the military, moved away. It's been her and Vaughn. So like my sister, she's like low key, you know what I'm saying? Don't bother nobody, stays out the way. And like she said, she was focused. She knew what she had when she met Vaughn. But like I said, and a lot of people, I'll share this, like me personally, it's like I knew Vaughn was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? I never really said anything about the relationship. I wasn't one to be like, Megan, you shouldn't be messing with him because I know what Vaughn does. I used to hang out with Vaughn all the time. I knew what he brought to the table. Vaughn, came from a great family, upbringing people, into the church. So I knew that Vaughn was a good person. So I never really had to get involved in their relationship, be like, Megan, now, you shouldn't be talking to him. Vaughn, now you're going to leave my sister alone. It was nothing like that. So I've always respected Vaughn. So, you know what I'm saying? I've never had a problem with their relationship.
No, I had to get involved in Kareem and Vaughn's relationship, because this is why. Vaughn would call my house to talk to me, and Kareem would answer the phone. And they would talk, and maybe an hour and a half later, I would get the phone because they got to discuss basketball. They got to discuss everything.
He was still nervous. He was trying to break the ice. He was still nervous. That you got to understand.
Still call and give Kareem some of the.
Yeah.
There you go. You're right.
But because he was nervous. I mean, this is, you know, you wouldn't be on this pod. This is how Simply Paul's Dropping was formed because of stuff like that. But back in the day, like Vaughn was a low key type of person. You know what I'm saying? And it's like sometimes when you in a perfect situation like that, she got brothers, I'm cool with them. I just go over there and I use that to get closer to you each time. So that's just, you know, that's just the way it went down. I respect it.
And fellas, pointer for you out there. You get in good with the family, usually in good. A good way to let them know who you are if they don't know you. Especially, you know, they have older brothers, a big brother. You're tight with the big brother. He co-signs it. When the mom and the dad say, man, who's this guy? Whatever. Oh, no, he's good. I hung out with him. I spend time. We shoot basketball. No, he's good people. It's another way of you showing them who you are and allowing the whole family, or as many as possible, know, hey, this is a good dude. This is what you're about. And, you know, his good intentions or whatever. So just a tip for you youngsters out there, even older ones, you know, get involved with the family because if they like you, then and she loves you, then, you know, you're free as a bird.
I think that family stuff is key. Like, you know, you have a significant other or your girlfriend or boyfriend, you bring them around the family. And like I like to tell people, man, just when you interact with the family, just get in where you fit in. You ain't got to be no more than what you don't have to put on. Just be yourself. Just be natural. You know what I'm saying? And you can fit in. Like our family is not hard to fit into. And Vaughn, his character and, you know, his sense of humor, it just fits in the things that we do. And, you know, they just love him. So, you know, it's like I tell people about my wife. When my wife first got introduced to the family, she just was herself. You know, she just got in where she fit in.
She sure did. Had to let her know early on, though, that there's one favorite in-law in the family. I got that, but she's a close second. That's all right.
All right. So y'all are exclusive, you dating, and you're in high school? And you
high school. We started high school, sweethearts. Yeah.
Okay. So at that point, after high school, and we're gonna kind of fast forward to the proposal. At what point did you start living together before you proposed, or were you already living, you know, or did you not move in until after you proposed? How did that work?
Okay, well, Vaughn bought me a ring maybe like a couple years into our relationship. So I've had a ring on my finger since 1993. And we had always talked about, very early on in our relationship, we would talk about marriage in the abstract. It was just like, yes, we knew this, what we would want to do in the future, but we wouldn't like have deep conversations about it. It was just like, we knew that was going to be in our future. So we picked, we would always say we were going to get married in September in 1999. And as that date grew closer, we saw that the September 8th, which is the day that we got that we started dating, we saw that that would be on a Saturday in 2001. So we decided that we would get married on September 8th, 2001. And I'll let you go.
So you spoke that into existence?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's something that y'all talked about as a collective group. Y'all talked about it.
So for those of you in Frederick that know the Great Frederick Fair, I can't remember how we did this, but we were like, yes, we want to get married on Fair Saturday, 2001, because it was, you know, we usually went to the fair on a Saturday, and it would have September 8th. What happened as we got closer to that, and remember, like she said, she had a ring for many years, several different types of rings. I would upgrade rings. We already knew our intentions, word it was to get married. So as it got closer, I'm sitting here thinking, you know, we've been together for a considerable amount of time. We knew each other's families. Most people in Frederick and, you know, that we knew us and knew, you know, it's kind of like, okay, we know you guys are eventually going to get married. So I was trying to think of a unique way to propose and do something that's going to be kind of a surprise and have some significance to it. I didn't want to follow anybody else. Time was going along, and it was in May, and I'm like, okay, I got to do something because we're getting close. We already know when we're going to get married, the date, but I need to actually propose. I hadn't done that yet. We went on a trip where we went to the Bahamas. We were down in Florida first and took a cruise to the Bahamas, then came back. And it was during that time when I'm like, okay, I need to do something now. I can't wait anymore. We're out of town. You know, this is romantic setting. It's just us. So this is when I need to do this. And we were on the beach, and then Megan, you can explain what I did.
But before Megan starts talking, how did you know you was ready to make that proposal?
Because we already knew we were going to get married, and it was a time crunch. We knew we were getting married in September. And this was May, and I hadn't proposed yet. And we weren't going to go. There's no way we were going to go just get married without me doing a proposal. Mm-hmm. And I knew, even though she never said this, I'm like, man, I know she's thinking, okay, when you haven't even proposed yet. You know, are we technically engaged? Because I hadn't really proposed. We've been together so long, it was kind of an afterthought. So that's why it came up to that point where I'm like, all right, time's ticking. I got to do something now. And that was the opportunity to do it.
Okay. Did you talk to Dad first, or is it something that y'all just discussed as a couple?
It was stuff that we discussed as a couple. Again, we've been together for a considerable amount of time. Our families knew each other very well. I'll tell you the parents' reaction after they found out that we got engaged. But it was that trip to the Bahamas where I actually proposed.
Yeah. So we had come back from the Bahamas. We were spending one more night in Florida, and we go to the beach, and I kind of knew that we're going to the beach because he's going to propose. And so we're on the beach, and you could tell that Vaughn was nervous, and he writes, "Will you marry me?" in the sand. And then he takes him a long time to do that, and then he just stands and goes like this, like he's pointing to that. And I was like, well, I said, Vaughn, if you're asking me, you need to talk, you need to say it. And so we're standing on the beach in Fort Lauderdale, and I have my back to the ocean, and he is facing the ocean. And he starts talking, and he says like the most heartfelt words that I had ever heard come out of his mouth. And he asked me, and he starts crying. I start crying. He asked me to marry him. And he got down on one knee, and he said, Megan Day Van Sappington, will you marry me?
He kind of begs to differ on the crying.
Yeah. Shut up. I started crying. Stop. Yeah. So he asked me to marry him. Of course, I said yes. But in true Vaughn fashion, when he asked me to be his girlfriend, it took about an hour. Him asking me to marry him also took about.
Because Vaughn, he's methodical. He's very strategic on things that he does. Everything got to align perfect for him to do what he got to do.
That's true. It's true. It was significant when I asked her out. That was significant to me because from that point, I'm like, hey, I want to be with her. I don't have advice for anybody else. And for the proposal, I wanted to be memorable and touching it. I wanted to be as significant for her as it was for me. So yes, you're right. That's why I thought it out and wanted to come up with something I think would be she'd remember for her life.
So now to the reaction of the families.
Oh, they said to us, "Oh, we thought y'all were already engaged."
Yeah.
They thought we were already engaged.
Oh,
yeah. That was the reaction. When I told Mom and Dad, they were like, "Aren't y'all already engaged?"
Yeah.
When we told his family, they were like, "Oh, we thought y'all were already engaged."
Yeah.
So,
it wasn't a big deal. Again, we had been together for so long. They kind of assumed we were already engaged.
They were just going with the flow, just like y'all.
Yeah.
All right. So I have another question. What is the best piece of advice you would give to someone that is either on the fence about being married or just may not want to get married?
The advice I would give someone that's on the fence about getting married, I'd say don't do it if you have to question it, if it's a thought. Put more time into the relationship because you want to be sure. I was sure, she was sure, so it was a no-brainer, when it happened. I think most people, when they've talked that we've seen on Marriage Chronicles, including you two, already knew this is the person I want to be with So it wasn't a guessing. Maybe it was timing. Maybe it was whatever the logistics were. We're going to move in together. Or how are we going to do it? But if you want to marry that person, go forward and ask. If you have reservations, I think you need to flush that out and make sure that you're sure when you do that.
Okay.
All right. And on that note, we got some more that we'll get into, but I'm gonna take a break here. We gotta pay some bills, and we'll be right back.
Boho Chic Boutique is dedicated to the lovers of fashion, specializing in bohemian chic handbags, accessories, and personal shopping. Visit Boho Chic Boutique at bohochictx.com. BOHOCHICTX.com. This episode is sponsored by True Choice Insurance. Here at True Choice, we take a different philosophy when it comes to providing you with your insurance options. We emphasize the value of the products we offer, instead of playing on the fear of you not being protected in your time of need. True Choice is affiliated with more than 60 insurance companies. This makes us one of the most independent agencies in the state of Texas. Please visit TrueChoiceInsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
Yo, shout out to my man Brian Kelly over there at True Choice, him and his wife, for everything that they do, man. I do appreciate it. For all your insurance needs, like I said, go to TrueChoice.com and they will take care of you. All right, now we right back in, and we'll go ahead and turn it back over to KSAP Square.
Okay. You can answer the same question, Megan. What's the best piece of advice you would give to someone that's on the fence?
Like Vaughn said, if you're questioning it, then maybe marriage is not for you. If you have to question it, if you're just not sure, I would say talk to people who have or who are married. Talk to people who are in longer marriages. If you know somebody who's been married 20 plus years, ask them why, what helped them stay together for so long. So if you're unsure about it, but if you have to question it, I would say marriage is not for you.
Okay. Good answers. All right. So, all right, I got one for you, Vaughn. What do you love the most about your spouse?
Wow, there's so many things. It's a great answer right there. What I love most? Well, since this is a Marriage Chronicles and not the After Hours version, I'll make sure I give that answer there.
We don't want that one today.
Just it's hard to define one thing because it's a lot of things that make up her personality, her demeanor. I guess I'd say she has a very loving nature, and ever since we first started going out, she's always been, or at least come across to me, is being all about me. From early on, her eyes would light up when I'd come over and see her. When I talked to her, she'd have that sparkle in her voice. Even now, she go teaches Zumba, and I'm in the back of the class, and she catches glances of me staring at her in the mirror. And couples we see.
Oh, and she'll rev it up then, won't she?
She puts a little extra.
Yeah.
But she's just. For a man and for most people, you're a partner that kind of affirms that love for you and that desire for you, and that that they're all about you and glad to have you and be with you. She just offers that and has always offered that throughout our relationship. So I don't know if that's a single answer, but I could say that's what one of the things I love about her most.
That's a good answer.
That's good. I like that. All right, for you, Megan, what makes your relationship unique?
Unique. Well, first of all, for the time that we've been together, but Vaughn and I,
that's definitely unique.
Yeah. But Vaughn and I spend the bulk of our relationship laughing. Okay, we just like this. That's what I love most about him, is his ability to make me laugh. And when I first met, when in our little high and by conversations, and when we first met, there were a couple times that he made me laugh, and Vaughn has been making me laugh since we first started dating. So we have so many like inside jokes and whatnot, and we can just sit here and make each other laugh. I can look at him and just do a stupid face, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about, and we just always know how to make each other laugh. That's we spend a lot of time in here laughing.
I love that. And I know you got something, K-Sap, but I just wanted to say something about what you said, because that's one of the things I always say, laughter is good for the soul. And if you cannot, and it's the energy that people give off when you're around them, it feeds off of you. So if you make me laugh, I want to be around you. So yeah, I like that.
All right, I got something for the audience, for everybody that's tuned in and has been listening to the podcast from the start. I got a question for you guys. Get a chance to win some SBD merch. In totality, their relationship, I'm in a relationship, the boyfriend, girlfriend, their relationship to the marriage, in total, how many years have Megan and Vaughn been together? Y'all post that in the chat. The first person with the answer, I'll reach out to you and give you a choice of some SBD merch. All right, go ahead.
All right. Family members excluded, because they know.
Or they should know.
They
All
better
right.
know.
So let's see here. And all right, so this is for the both of you. So whoever wants to go first. What's the one thing you'd like to try together that you have not tried yet?
That's for the late night chronicles, though.
I think you can say that.
But the late night chronicles.
You can say the one we talked about.
Hey,
Beach.
give it up.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we'd like to go to like a nude beach together. That's what we'd like to do. That's one thing that we haven't tried.
Go over to Palm of Spain.
Yeah.
It gets real.
That's what
Been
we
there.
heard.
Been there.
All right
We
now.
want the right crowd at the beach, though. We're not seniors yet, so shout out
No.
to seniors.
But hold up. But listen, you go back to the podcast with the guys, with the fellas. What's the podcast with Ryan Clark? Yeah. But old boy said, man, you make sure you shave your shit, make you have inches.
Right.
It gives you inches.
That's right.
And you won't be uncomfortable. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess y'all agreed on that one.
Yeah.
What's your most memorable moment? It could have been with dating or marriage or throughout the length of time.
I don't think we have a memorable moment.
Because you may think something is more memorable than Vaughn. Something maybe got to him that may be different. Just anything that you can think of that possibly.
I just like memorable moments, like we talked about, are when you proposed and whatnot. I would say, I'm gonna say when I found out I was pregnant with our son, because when we decided that we wanted to become, when we decided that we were going to try to have a baby, we took a weekend, and it worked on that weekend, and
Cupid.
It worked on the weekend, and when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, how in the world did this happen so quickly? And the thing that I remember most about that is I took the pregnancy test and was like, okay, I'm pregnant. And Vaughn was in the other bathroom in the house. And so I slid the pregnancy test under the door to him. And the reason why this memorable was because I didn't get to see his reaction at all. But that it was just like how this happened so quickly.
He sat in there and cried in the stall.
You're absolutely. I did.
I know you did.
Know that. She slid under there, and it was real. And I think I cried because it was the first time. Up to that point, it's been just us. You know how it is when you're young, you think you live forever. And I think that's where I realized, okay, We're bringing another life in. It's not just about us. It's about our kids now, and raising them and passing the torch is how I look at it to the next generation. So it was just that realization that, okay, it's here. It's not just us. Life has a bigger purpose now to keep this, this life flow going, and that it was going to be a big change and a big adjustment in her life in a positive way. So you're right. I was in there crying. I don't think I told her right away, but I was in there kind of teary-eyed.
Okay. So while we're on kids, tell us about your kids. How many kids do you guys have? What's going on with them? What do they do? What are their activities?
We have 2 kids. We have a boy and a girl, and our son is 17. He just graduated from high school, and he will be starting college in the fall. And we have a 14-year-old daughter who will be starting high school in the fall. And she is trying to be an all-American cheerleader. So that's what our kids do. Yeah. Jackson and Cassidy, shout out to them if they're watching.
Yes, 2 kids. It's not like spades. It's not 2 and a possible or anything like that. Solid 2.
2 and done.
2 and done.
Yes, 2 and done. We made that decision very shortly after our daughter was born. So
yeah, she kind of came out of nowhere. But once I realized, fellas,
yeah.
Usually when you have a son first, you're like, okay, I'm good. You got a son.
Yeah.
When the daughter came along, because she always wanted a girl. After that point, I'm like, okay, we're definitely good there, and took the bullets out the gun.
And it's crazy that you said that. My nephews and nieces, man, they're adorable kids, man. Highly respectable, coming from, Megan and Vaughn. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people in the chat talk about family. You know what I'm saying? Great family kids, man. Love them to death. And I just want to fast forward to the wedding. I just want you to share that funny moment when we was headed to the wedding and you had your shoes on top of the car. Share that moment with the people.
We got married in Las Vegas, not at the drive-through chapel. We got married out there, Caesar's Palace, because we had a big family between the both of us. We paid for our own wedding, so we wanted to have it out there, a good destination wedding, have the people there that really wanted to be there. Haven't seen Vegas before. It was a great experience. And that day, I was procrastinating the whole day, running behind. Had the shoes that I was going to change into, left them on the hood of the car.
Driving down the street.
Shoes, went back and run over them. Didn't get a chance to really take a shower and freshen up, but we did get to the venue. And I think when she was there at the venue, I think the person, the facilitator there, had some words for her.
Our wedding coordinator, her name was Natalie. And I will always remember that because that was my mom's name. She came in. I was in this little room waiting, and she comes in, and she was like, "Oh, honey, your groom is late. I don't. Are you gonna be
we was rushing."
And I was like, "Oh, he's late." I was like, "Well, he's with my dad and my brother, so I'm sure he's on his way there." But yeah, but I think your shirt was in the box too.
We had all kinds of hiccups that day.
Like on his tuxedo shirt, there was a tire print on the back of it. I had given him a card. There was a tire print on the card. The shoe. What else was in the shoe?
Nothing that you could see in the video or the picture.
Yeah.
Everything still looked good.
And the crazy thing about it is I was the best man and I forgot my tire.
Yeah.
I mean, we had all kinds of hiccups.
I remember that.
So I had to button my white shirt all the way to the top. Tika, you remember that? Yeah. 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 So the people been chiming in with the years y'all been together. They all over the place. I mean, y'all have to let people know the exact, because we got people that say, and I'm disappointed in you, Tika, for you giving 2 answers. We got one that says 30, one that says 25, one says 21, one says 31, one says 32. One says 33.
So I'll say this. So we started dating officially on September 8th, 1991. We got married on when?
September 8th, 2001.
So we've been together since that time. One thing, and thanks for the segue with that, we got married on September 8th, 2001. For those of you old enough to remember, 3 days after that was September 11th. So that our wedding anniversary, our anniversary for starting our relationship together is always going to stick out to us, because of what happened on 9/11, and the fact that our family had come out to Vegas for the wedding, and a couple of them actually got stuck in Vegas because of what happened at 9/11.
That'd be us.
That'd be your boy K-Sap. Yeah.
We learned a lot about Vegas by being stuck in Vegas. Oh yeah.
I think that's when Kanisha took her first puff of a cigarette.
I don't even smoke cigarettes. I was nervous. And I sat at that bar and I asked this little white man and I said, "Can you please let me hold a cigarette?" Because Kareem was like, "You got to smoke." I was like, "I'm nervous."
Yeah.
And I took it. I was like, "Ugh." I was like, "I can't do it."
Mhm.
But yeah, that was
Yeah, great times in Vegas. Like Sheena said, those moments make great memories. I do agree with that.
But it's funny because like during the first maybe first 5 or 6 years of our marriage, people would not remember our anniversary. They wouldn't call us on the 8th. They would call us on the 11th because they're just like, "Oh, remember?" Yeah, that's what they remembered about it.
So in totality, y'all got to give the answer. How many years y'all been together?
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please.
It will be, well, if you're being technical, it will be 32 years on September 8th.
Okay, well, somebody said 32, but Tika, I can't give that to you because you guessed about 3 times.
Actually, 31 years as of right now.
It's 31 years and like
Okay, so who said
10
31?
months.
Tika, I think Tika started off with 31. So I guess Tika, yeah.
Wait a minute. You got to give a number 2 prize too, because Tika was in the wedding.
No.
And Tika was part
Makai was the first one to answer. He said 30. He was close. Sheena said 25. B Hunt said 21. Tika said 31. Then she said 32. Then Makai said 33. So that's up to the married couple.
Was the question how long we've been together?
Yeah.
From the beginning.
That was okay. So what y'all want to do?
If you're rounding to the nearest bidder, it's 32 years because it's like 31 years and almost 11 months. So
Well, we'll put the answer on the screen and we'll show everybody that we're being fair. Tika said 32.
You should know that.
So Tika, reach out to us. We got you covered. Yeah. But Mr. V said you shouldn't count because you was in the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
So
So
is there anything else that you guys would like to share? Just anything you'd like to tell people about, marriage or about life as a whole, about what you've grown to love or know?
Well, like we said, we've been together almost 32 years, and we were kids when we first started dating. So we really haven't changed as people, but the world around us has changed, and our circumstances have changed. So just having to adapt to all the different stages in your life. Doing that, the one thing that has worked with us is communication. Vaughn and I talk. We talk a lot. We have the hard conversations. We have the uncomfortable conversations. We talk a lot, and we communicate a lot. And he will call me out on and I will call him out on his. So anyway.
y'all got to understand something about Vaughn. Like I said, he's very strategic and methodical. I mean, it's got to be a certain way. He does things in a certain way. Prime example, we take a picture. Vaughn got to line us up, do this, do the now. Okay, if you go right there to be this way. And then he'll take a picture. Nah, no, y'all ain't gonna like that. Boom, boom. So he's very, strategic. He wants everything to align.
But like just communicating with your spouse, like that is like one of the biggest things that's in our relationship. Also, like we laugh together. We always laugh. We laugh and we are also one another's biggest fans. So whatever Vaughn does, I am behind him 100%. Whatever I do, he is behind me 100%. So that's the way that we have adapted, gone through the changes in life. Once we became parents, we had to adjust that communication, because the communication wasn't just about us, it was about us and our kids. So like that's what we've dealt with. The pandemic, what was it, 2021? 2021 was like, it was like a month and a half where we just got into some real conversations, and just really, just really got deep into each other. Even after having been together for 20 years, we still have those conversations. So that's the biggest thing in our relationship.
That's great. And I just want to say this. A lot of people want to have another question. I think we got time for another question. They want to know how long y'all been married, not just been in a relationship, how long y'all been married. So the first person that answers how long they've been married, B Hunt, we'll give you a chance to win since you want to win. How long they've been married. And the part two to the question, if you've been listening to the podcast from the beginning, what is one of the things that Mr. V said that y'all might not know about him, but he plays this instrument? Go. All right, go ahead.
Shout out to the Hunts, my Texas two-steppers.
No, the same question for Vaughn. Just any last words or anything that has come along, because I know what yours, just piggybacking off of what you said, Megan. Communication is key, and I know a lot of people talk about communication, but do we really communicate? Because everybody's communication style is different. You have to learn as you grow older, your communication changes. Your communication was different when you guys were 20 versus now, right? So you have to grow and evolve. But anyway,
Vaughn likes to talk.
Yeah. I know.
He likes to talk, and he can sit there and talk for.
I know. Vaughn and Kareem hey, that should have been one of the things that you said, that Kareem and I can sit on the phone and say, "Yo, man, that's crazy."
We'll leave that for another podcast. Stay out of that. Stay out of that.
All right.
Stay out of that.
All right, Vaughn, go ahead.
Communication. Learn your partner. Grow together. Explore your partner. I'll say that. Your relationships evolve over time, from when you're young to when you're older. You have kids, family things, health issues and things come up. And when I say explore your partner, you'll be surprised. And you guys know this. The folks that, Round Table Talk, the Hunts know this. Everyone you've had on the podcast knows this. You can be with someone a long time and still learn new things about them, the way they think, the way they feel, the way they operate. Topics come up in social media and real life that you'll talk about and discuss. And if you're going to be married, number one, make sure you really know your partner. Make sure that's the one.
Yeah.
Make sure that you don't just have love for them, but that you're in love for them.
Great advice.
And what I'd say that what she touched on earlier in the podcast, talk to other couples that's been together a long time, even couples that been together a short amount of time, married and not married. And even those that are divorced and relationships didn't make it. And what I believe is a true test of a great relationship, if you can ask each other genuinely, or if you can look in the mirror and tell yourself, hey, if I had the opportunity to go back, would I do this again? If I knew the way it was going to be would be the same way.
Yeah.
You can say yes, you've got yourself a winner if you've chosen right. If you have some doubts on that, then that's something to explore. And I think we can both say, I think I can speak for her. We would go back if we had a rewind button and had to do everything again the same way, we would go back and do it again.
That's a great answer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, go ahead and answer the question. How long have y'all been married?
It'll be, what is it? How long did it? Oh, so it's almost 22 years. It's like 20.
But right now, today.
Right now, today.
21 years.
21 years, and everybody that answered, y'all all was wrong. So, Sheena, I'm disappointed in you because you say the saxophone. If you was listening from the beginning, it was the piano. Man,
we gave y'all chance.
We gave you chance after chance,
but see, Hunt wants to win because he said 21 earlier. But that wasn't the question, Hunt. We said in total.
Well, Hunt, you get exclusive gear anyway, so you all right. So we good. But Now that was great, but we want to show y'all. We're gonna roll a little video. I want y'all to sit back and enjoy this video of the Harpers.
Yeah. I'm simply ball dropping. Marriage Chronicles. Yeah. Do you take thee to be your lawfully, to have it to hold for richer and poor, and sickness to help to death do us part? But casket short, will you have a change of heart on guard? Unchanged these vows, we went through hours. I lied and cheated, I was left with scars. My love is astronomical, don't need the drama, mama. I'm simply ball dropping, it's the Marriage Chronicles. She loved me not. My heart cold, we used to be hot. She took me.
So that's just a glimpse of the Harpers as they progress from when they first started dating all the way up to now. The kids was included. So that's a glimpse into their life. So guys, is there anything else y'all would like to say before we wrap it up? Don't get nervous now.
Do you have anything to say? I mean, if you're gonna get married, make sure you're marrying the right person. I married my best friend, and Vaughn is still my best friend, and this is the person I plan to be with.
It's your person.
Yes.
That's right, Tika, her best friend right here. Thank you.
Yeah.
No worries. Everybody appreciate you tuning in that watch live. Anybody that watches this already recorded, appreciate you. Hopefully you got something from it. Glad to share our love story and our journey there. And if you get a chance, join into our OnlyFans. Oh, sorry about that. I'm joking.
He's not joking.
I'm joking.
So KSAP Squares, anything else you got to say?
Nothing at all. Well, yes, I do. I always have something to say.
Today?
No, let's see. What did I learn?
I knew it all.
I think I knew most of that. Yeah, I've heard this story several times throughout the years. I've been in the family for a little while now.
What's a little while?
24 years.
24 years.
That's a long time, man.
Welcome to the family.
So
That's more than half your life. That's more than half your life.
I really will have to say that I kind of jumped in on when I came in and I first met Megan and the family and Vaughn. Everybody was over to the house when I first met you guys, and at first I was like, oh my gosh, Megan. I was like, I don't know if she likes me or not, but we gonna try.
Gonna work it out, huh?
But she opened up. She opened on up.
Oh, she opened up.
Now, she opened up to me, and now I'm her favorite
This
person.
is my crab eating partner.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, me and Vaughn joke around a lot, but I love these two. They invite us into their home every year when we come home for the 4th of July, and it's been going on since I've known them before I've known them. So
They
we
have
appreciate
stayed
that.
at
Every place y'all been at.
Yeah.
Place we've been at.
Every place y'all been.
Except California.
Yeah, except for California.
Every place
Yeah.
we lived. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Man,
We
and
can pick places to stay based on what's the extra room.
Yeah.
Enough room for them? Okay.
Yeah. Hey, make sure y'all give this video a thumbs up, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all share this video, man. It might help out some people. And I tell people, I told the story before we started this Marriage Chronicles. Sheena and B Hunt, y'all can attest to this. When y'all shared y'all's love story, it helped out one of my friends. You know what I'm saying? You know, he wanted to have a ride or die chick like you down for Brandon. You know what I'm saying? And he always hit me up like, I wish my woman was like that. But this, like I said, tell a friend to tell a friend. And you guys, tomorrow night, make sure y'all tune in, man, to the all exclusive Simply Ball Dropping Guys podcast. And this is some deep conversations that a lot of people might not know. So we're going to open up. And like they always say about men not being vulnerable, we're vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? We're not tough guys. But like I said, man, I appreciate everybody that tuned in, man, to the Simply Ball Dropping Marriage Chronicles. Once again, I'm your host and the man behind the mic, KSAP. Y'all see that. And my co-host, KSAP Square.
See y'all later.
We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.